The Resident Evil 4 remake features an exciting revamped mission where players can play as Ashley with a range of new and compelling mechanics that differ significantly from the original game. The future of the franchise and its main protagonist remains a subject of speculation. However, with increasing community demand, resurgence, and popularity in the Shadow of Rose DLC, Resident Evil the 9th of May returned to third-person gameplay. In the RE4 remake, Ashley's gameplay moments in Chapter 9 receive some curious and spine-tingling changes. The remake provides brief but powerful moments that increase the tension and make playing as Ashley a lot scarier. Ashley is now more competent, with significant changes in her play style. Players can feel vulnerable when playing as Ashley, as she is an everyman-style character who must rely on a blue-flamed lantern to temporarily freeze terrifying patrolling Armadura enemies to sneak past them. The game combines tense stealth with heart-pounding puzzle moments that create a more realistic and relatable horror survival experience. Although Ethan Winters is Resident Evil's everyman protagonist with a more frightening first-person playthrough, playing as Ashley in the RE4 remake feels more relatable. She cannot even throw lanterns at attackers like in the original game and is instantly killed by the Armaduras if hit. Ashley's reliance on lantern-lit stealth, solving puzzles, and outwitting opponents creates a more realistic and relatable horror survival experience seen in the Shadow of Rose DLC, but without Rose's powers or weapon-wielding capabilities. The franchise's potential for development while keeping it rooted in classic survival horror could lie in everyday people fighting to survive the T-virus outbreak. Resident Evil 9 could expand the revamped survival horror game puzzle mechanics introduced in Ashley's story in the RE4 remake. A new everyman protagonist with low combat or survival capabilities, who gradually becomes more adept at surviving, could be an interesting addition to the franchise. Whether using first-person or third-person, Resident Evil 9 could use a different kind of everyman to dramatically shift the gameplay and give players a new type of immersive Resident Evil experience. In addition, the increased community demand for a return to third-person gameplay could be a possibility for RE9, following the success of recent horror games like the Shadow of Rose DLC, which utilized a similar gameplay style. The changes made to Ashley's gameplay in the RE4 remake are significant, and they create a much scarier and tense experience for players. The reliance on stealth and puzzle solving, rather than combat, makes for a more realistic and relatable horror survival experience. This could be a sign of things to come in RE9, with the possibility of a new everyman-style protagonist who gradually becomes more adept at survival and combat. Overall, the future of the Resident Evil franchise is exciting, with the potential for new and innovative gameplay mechanics, a return to classic horror, and the development of more relatable and vulnerable protagonists. Fans can only speculate at this point, but the possibilities are endless for the survival horror franchise that has captured the hearts of gamers for over 2 decades. As the Resident Evil franchise continues to evolve, it's clear that the developers are always looking for ways to keep the series fresh while staying true to its horror roots. With the success of the RE4 remake and the Shadow of Rose DLC, it's clear that fans are still hungry for classic survival horror gameplay, and the future of the franchise could see a return to this style. Additionally, the possibility of a new everyman protagonist who starts with low combat or survival capabilities and gradually becomes more adept at surviving could provide a fresh perspective for the franchise. This type of character development could create a more immersive and engaging experience for players as they grow alongside the protagonist. Ultimately, only time will tell what the future holds for the Resident Evil franchise. However, with the continued popularity of the series and the dedication of the developers to creating innovative and terrifying gameplay experiences, fans can rest assured that the future of Resident Evil is in good hands. Are you enjoying the video game content on the Retro Games YouTube channel? If so, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest videos. With your support, we can continue to bring you the best content from the golden age of gaming. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the Retro Games channel with your friends who love retro gaming as much as you do.